I didn't want to tamper with the evidence. Besides, there wasn't enough rope there to do me any good. Looking closely at the frayed rope hanging from the rafters, I knew that Mundy had been tied up by the legs and then hung from the ceiling. I didn't know why. Frankly, I wondered if I really wanted to know why. Something very strange was going on. Nothing. There should have been something in the boots, only there wasn't. I was pretty sure that the watch didn't search them, and that didn't leave many options. Come to persecute me some more, Luton? A man's gotta have a hobby. I found some frayed rope in the rafters of the room where Mundy was killed. Congratulations. What's that got to do with me? I was hoping you could tell me. You're optimistic. Not at all. I figure you'd like me to stop asking you questions. It wouldn't be my first wish, but it'd be in my top 10. Tell me about the rope. Why don't you tell me about the rope? You found it, not me. Mencken wasn't going to risk incriminating himself under any circumstances. Once again, I'd have to worm it out of him. If I had an iconograph, I could have but I didn't have. And even if I did, there didn't seem much point. I didn't want to become too... Mundy's corpse wasn't very attractive. There was nothing... Mundy's killer had tied his legs together with my rope. It was bad enough that he stole my rope, without implicating me in a gruesome murder at the same time. Nothing. There should have been... Come to persecute. A man's gotta have a hobby. So how do you think having a murder in one of your rooms is going to affect business? Pull in the goth crowd, do you think? Shut up, Luton. I don't feel like engaging in small talk. Not with you, anyway. So why did you kill Mundy? What? I didn't lay a finger on him. You gotta be crazy. Do you have any idea how bad all this is for business? Why would I cause all this? I'd have to be crazy. Vimes told me that you're a suspect. Yeah, of course I'm a suspect. I'm half elf. We're always a suspect. No one trusts us. I found some frayed rope in the rafters of the room where Mundy was killed. Congratulations. What's that got to do with me? I was hoping you could tell me. You're optimistic. Not at all. I figure you'd like me to stop asking you questions. It wouldn't be my first wish, but it'd be in my top 10. Tell me about the rope. Why don't you tell me about the rope? You found it, not me. Mencken wasn't going to risk... Once again, I'd have to worm it out of him. I need to speak with Sapphire.
Try and imagine.
Look, is she here or not?
She's in her dressing room.
It's really impolite to walk into a room without knocking. But who knows what you miss out on when you take the time to knock. Sapphire had a pile of money in her room, and I was glad I hadn't given her an opportunity to hide it.
Luton, you startled me. Didn't Mother tell you not to walk into rooms unannounced?
Mother told me to walk into rooms with a crossbow. She was a sensible woman.
What you want?
That's quite a lot of money you've got.
What? Oh, yeah. Money, yeah.
Where'd you get it, Sapphire?
Oh, that. Well, see, I won it.
Won it?
Yes, at casino.
Which one?
Saturnalia. Sapphire go there often.
Really? Is it a good casino?
Oh, yeah. Good as casino get. You should go, Luton.
Maybe I will. So, how have things been?
Things way they always been. Slow, dull.
But you've kept yourself amused, haven't you?
Don't know what you mean.
You lied to me, Sapphire. Strung me along with that Madame Lodestone story.
What? No. Sapphire told truth.
The troll in Madame Lodestone's grave wasn't Therma.
How you tell?
Malachite told me.
You trust him?
He's too stupid to lie, and you're too smart not to.
Sapphire not smart. Big dumb troll, like all the other trolls.
Don't play games, Sapphire. I know you're smarter than the average troll, although I could say the same about some mushrooms.
Look, Sapphire don't know why someone would switch bodies. Sapphire just trying to help.
She was lying to me. I could feel it. She was obviously hiding something, but it was apparent I needed to know more if I was going to worm it out of her. Do you recognize the dwarf in this iconograph?
You must think I know whole town.
I'll be back.
That's what they all say.
Well, I'm back. Listen carefully, Malachite. I've been patient with you, and you owe me a favor. I need you to use the grapple to pull something out of the River Ankh. I don't know for sure what it is, but it's big. Too big for me to lift. But you could do it, and I figure you owe me one.
Found Therma?
Look, Therma is dead. Remember? We found her in the mausoleum.
Not Therma. Therma alive. Find Therma.
Look, she is dead. Get used to it.
Not dead. Find Therma.
All right, you big dumb troll. I'll carry on looking for Therma if you help me get this thing out of the river. Do we have a deal?
I pull thing. You find Therma.
Yes. You scratch my back and I'll scratch yours. Or something. Whatever you want scratched, within reason.
Don't want scratching. Find Therma.
Okay. You pull thing, I find Therma. Got it?
Need grapple.
That may be the first intelligent thing you've said to me. Ready now?
You lead.
With pleasure. I hadn't been able to move whatever it was in the river. Malachite pulled it up onto the bridge like it was made of paper. I wasn't surprised to learn it was Reagan's carriage, but it still wasn't clear how it ended up going off the bridge. Amidst the wreckage, I found a small ornamental box. But before I could examine it in detail, Malachite took an interest. I didn't want to give it to him, but he looked like he'd rupture a fault line if I didn't. He kept insisting that the box proved that Therma was alive, or at least that's my best interpretation of what he was trying to say. With his usual annoying habit, Malachite just walked off, taking the box with him. That left me to get back to my usual habit of not really knowing what was going on. There was no doubt that it was Reagan, and there was no doubt that he was dead. The poor sap must have suffocated in the Ankh. I searched Reagan's body, but all I found was a pair of tiny bite marks on his ankle. Either he'd been bitten by a snake or a very small vampire. There was no doubt that it was Reagan. The poor
I see Sir has returned.
Sir had.
Who would Sir like to see?
Is the Count receiving guests?
No, but he will see you.
I've got a few more questions for you, Count.
Yes, questions. Go on.
I'm afraid I have some bad news for you.
It's Reagan, isn't it? He's dead.
I'm afraid so. I found his carriage near the Magdalen Bridge. It must have lost control and skidded into the river. Reagan must have drowned, or suffocated. It's hard to say with a river like the Ankh.
Very well. Of course. I will pay you for your time. If you should hear anything else in connection with this case, please let me know. Otherwise, consider the case closed.
There is one thing. I think Reagan may have been involved with a troll singer named Therma. I'm not really sure about the details. I'm sort of investigating the Therma case at the moment. But since I'm not getting paid for it, I may have to give it up.
Indeed. How would you feel if I were to pay you for the Therma case and you continued to investigate it?
I'd feel a little bit richer and a lot happier.
Very well. It's agreed.
I'll be back later.
I look forward to it.
I see Sir has returned.
Sir has.
Who would Sir like to see?
Is Carlotta home?
Alas, no. What a shame that Sir's trip has been wasted. Perhaps Sir would like to leave now.
Tell her I called by.
Why, my loins stir at the very thought of serving you in this way, sir.
There was something about the way the other members of the watch looked at me that let me know that no matter how innocent I was still stained with suspicion. Still, I'll take the stains of suspicion over the tarnish of guilt. Suspicion was easier to wash out. Sometimes I think I'd just give up and crawl inside a whiskey bottle. Except that you can only do that if you are less than 1 inch high. Doesn't look like I'm too welcome around here. Of course, I haven't been welcome here since I got kicked off the force, but at least then they just thought I was corrupt. Now they think I'm a murderer.
Nah, Luton, you've got it all wrong. They don't think you're a murderer. They think...
That my personal hygiene is appalling?
No.
That I have the Clatchian plague?
No.
Face it, they think I'm a murderer.
You know, give me a minute, I'll think of something.
Nobby, you've never thought of something printable in your entire life. Why should you start now? Tell me more about these counterweight killings.
I'm not really sure I should, Luton. Sorry.
Come on, Nobby. You can trust me.
Well, no. Look, Luton, I can't tell you.
Why not? Shouldn't I know?
It's not to be discussed with anyone who's not part of the case.
Ah, I see. Well, that makes sense. Obviously, you wouldn't want people not involved with the case learning about it.
Exactly.
And I'm the prime suspect in that case, right?
Well, you're the prime suspect in the Mundy case. But the prime suspect in the counterweight killings is that foreign spy who's been killing all the prominent people. Like that bloke up at Unseen University and that fellow in the Patrician's Palace.
Right. Well, I won't ask any more questions then, seeing as how I shouldn't.
Thank you, Luton. I appreciate it.
I told Nobby about finding Reagan's body and the carriage in the river by the Magdalen Bridge, and he promised he'd check it out. I knew Nobby, though. The best I could hope for would be he'd pass a memo on to someone else, and I wasn't hopeful for even that. Nobby had a simple attitude to police work. If a job's worth doing, it's worth finding someone else to do it for you. Well, I'm sure I'll be back.
Yeah, right, Luton.
Saturnalia was almost legendary. The upmarket casino was situated on the King's Way and was frequented by the rich members of Ankh's high society and hopeful social climbers from Morpork. It was a temple to pride, greed, and avarice. And like any temple, anyone with money was welcome. The last person I wanted to see was Death himself, waiting to take me to whatever hell awaits a failure like me. But after Death, Ilsa was a close second. My eyes were drawn to her the moment I entered the room, and I decided then and there that I wasn't going to talk to her. The next thing I remember, I was talking to her.
Hello, Luton. Still mad at me?
As soon as I learn how to offer forgiveness, you'll be the first one to receive it.
This is my companion, Two Conkers.
Pleased to be meeting you. You are Remora Salachi. Not the last time I checked.
This is Luton. He's an old friend of mine.
Why did he think I was Remora Salachi?
We're supposed to be meeting him here.
What do you want with an assassin like Remora?
What are you talking about?
I looked around to see Remora drawing a weapon. Assassins are damn good at what they do, but they're not allowed to kill innocent bystanders. I didn't know if it was bravery or stupidity, but I decided to stand between Remora and his target. Interrupting an assassin while he was working was a risky business. so I decided to ambush Remora with the old only answer questions with questions routine. Why did you try to kill that woman?
Why does any assassin try to kill someone?
Who put a contract out on Ilsa?
Don't you know better than to interfere in official guild business?
Why would anyone want to kill Ilsa?
Do you expect me to discuss a confidential case with you?
What do you want from me, Remora?
A swift death and a cheap funeral.
Ha! You lose! That wasn't a question, that was a statement. You're getting sloppy.
You're lucky we're only allowed to kill for money, because I'd take you out for free, Luton.
I'd managed to embarrass Remora in front of a crowd of social notables, and that was bad news. It was bad enough that I had the watch breathing down my neck without the Assassin's Guild baying for my blood. Fortunately, there was nothing they could do to me unless someone paid for a contract on me. Actually, that wasn't strictly true. They could tie me up and torture me for days if they wanted to, just as long as I didn't die. It wasn't a comforting thought.
Who was the woman?
Carlotta, what are you doing here?
I like to take risks. Isn't that what life is for?
I've taken enough risks to last a lifetime.
You didn't answer my question, you know. Who was the woman?
Ilsa, why do you want to know? Jealous? Afraid you might have a rival?
All women are rivals, Luton.
She's not important.
I see. If you decide to be honest with me, I'll be around.
It was the most unsettled I'd seen Carlotta get. I guess there was a heart in that cold chest after all. Carlotta didn't strike me as the gambling kind, but then with her look she could probably gamble with other people's money. Personally, I thought that took the edge out of the experience, but I doubt she cared. The woman's name is Ilsa. She and I used to be close. It's over.
Why are you telling me this?
I thought you might want to know.
How is the case going?
Badly. Mundy's dead.
Dead?
Yeah, dead. Murdered. And not a pretty sight. I'm sorry.
Don't be. I'll survive. You could have chosen a nicer way to tell me.
I thought you might appreciate me getting straight to the point. Do you want me to stay on the case?
Is there still a case?
I thought perhaps you might like to know who killed Mundy and why.
Yes, I owe him that. You can continue with the case, Luton.
Have you heard of the counterweight killings?
No.
Mundy's murder looks like a counterweight killing.
Oh, I'm thrilled.
Did you know Reagan well?
Reagan? The Count's driver, you mean? I wouldn't say I knew him well, but I knew him. He was always hanging around the mansion.
What can you tell me about him?
I never trusted him. I always thought he was after the Count's money.
As opposed to you, who had purely altruistic reasons for marrying into wealth.
I was young and I was poor. Besides, I made Ulrich happy.
Reagan's dead.
I'm not surprised.
You don't seem to care.
Everybody dies, Luton. Mundy, Reagan, even you.
What's your point?
No point. That's just life.
Do you want to know what happened with Mundy?
That's what I'm paying you for, isn't it?
Is it? I'm starting to wonder.
Don't you like me, Luton?
What's not to like? You're a woman like any other.
Do you look down on all women, or just the ones you know?
I have plenty of distaste to go around. I've got things to do. I'll see you around, Carlotta. What's the game?
Trunchin. Interested, stranger?
The name's Luton. What are the stakes?
Minimum stake is $1 a hand, house limit is 10,000 per hand.
I'm in. Here's my dollar.
Hey, big spender.
World told me how to play the game. Something to do with the major arcana and the private arcana. The major arcana had strange names like the Fool, the Pyrophant, and the unbelievable expense of a slice of cheese. Essentially, it seems I just had to stay under 21 and get as high as I could. It all seems pretty whimsical to me.
Mr. Whimsical World,
What happens in a tie?
I win.
That doesn't seem fair.
I'll note that down in the complaints book, shall I? Player thinks the odds might be stacked in favour of the house.
I didn't really know what I was doing, but I expected to lose my dollar anyway, so I didn't worry about it. But someone else at the table seemed pretty worked up about what I was doing.
That isn't the way to play it.
Why not?
Because it isn't the way to win.
Is there a way to win?
Well, there's a way to lose more slowly.
What's it to you?
I've seen enough losing. I don't want to see any more.
I only bet $1.
No, it's the principle of the thing.
What do you think?
I'm just a croupier. I'm not paid to think.
I lost my dollar, but I reckon I got value for money. And hey, the cards were pretty. Do you own this place?
Saturnalia? No, you gotta be kidding.
Who owns it?
I don't really know. Probably a whole group of people. For all I know, no one owns it, and it just keeps ticking over all on its own.
Is that likely?
Frankly, I don't really care. As long as I get paid, it's all the same to me.
Don't you have an inquisitive mind?
No, I find people with inquisitive minds don't live too long.
Time to excuse myself from the table, I think. You seem to get worked up over my gambling.
I'm not as easygoing as I used to be.
You're a wizard?
Wow, you're sharp. What tipped you off? The gown? The art?
Look, I just thought you might want to talk. You tried to help me at the table, and I thought I'd make amends for being so rude to you. Sorry I tried.
No, wait. I'm like, sorry, friend. It's just, I'm on edge.
The name's Luton.
I'm sorry. We haven't been properly introduced. My name is Warb. B-L-L.
B-L-L?
Well, Bachelor of Eldritch Lace Making.
Eldritch lace making?
Don't ask.
You a regular in here, then?
I guess so. I'm not very lucky.
I thought all wizards were lucky.
Whatever gave you that impression? Do you know how many bizarre and unpleasant ways there are for a wizard to die inside the walls of Unseen University alone? One false invocation as you're summoning a demon, and bang! You're lunch for some pit fiend with more tentacles than legs and fewer arms than heads. Or spend too long in the wrong area of the library and you disappear. All that you leave behind is a statistic.
Don't you like being a wizard? It always seemed like a glamorous profession to me.
There's nothing glamorous about wizardry. Well, except for glamours.
Glamours?
It's an elvish thing.
Well, thank you very much. If you're so unlucky, why do you come here?
I haven't lived a lucky life, but, well, I don't know. I guess I feel that in here, I at least have a chance.
But the odds are always stacked against you. The house always has the advantage.
Let me tell you something, Luton. The house always has the advantage. Here, out there, it doesn't make any difference. At least in here, you know who the house is.
That's a pretty stark outlook.
Ever made a decision that affected your whole life? Ever done something that throws everything into question?
No, I don't feel in that much control of my life.
None of us are.
So you work up at Unseen University.
I was trained there. Once I got my degree, I moved on.
But you're still a wizard. I thought all you guys were under the jurisdiction of the university.
Yeah, I work for Unseen Securities now.
Unseen Securities?
Yeah, we make magical security systems. Very exclusive.
Are they expensive?
Oh yeah, hardly anyone can afford our services.
Ever seen a dwarf called Reagan around the casino?
Sure. Well, I've never spoken to him though.
What does he play?
Truncheon, roulette, onion, craps. He plays them all a little. He always seems to win, but he never pushes his luck. He wins, and then he stops. That's his way. I wish I had his luck. I'd make much better use of it.
Ever seen a dwarf called Reagan around the casino?
Sure. Well, I've never spoken to...
What does he play?
He plays... He wins. I wish I...
Do you know a troll called Sapphire?
I've seen her around, but I don't really know her.
Seen her here?
Oh, yeah. She's sometimes here. She never looks very happy, though.
Do you know a troll by the name of Malachite?
I don't know them.
Do you know anything about the murder of a man named Mundy?
I'm afraid I can't really,
Maybe I'll see you later. I'd already had to dive onto the Ankh once. I wasn't about to do it again.